Loading members of the indigenous community in the southern town of Kumarakapay, bordering Brazil, retaliated by taking prisoner the commander of the Venezuelan National Guard. Venezuelans walked into Brazil through a field in Pacaraima, Roraima State, Brazil. Credit: APJosé Miguel Montoya Rodriguez was detained by members of the Paiman tribe, following the death of Zoraida Rodriguez, a member of the community, in the clashes. The violence cast an ominous shadow over the massive aid delivery planned for Saturday, with hundreds of tons of medical supplies destined to be brought across the border from Brazil and Colombia. Juan Guaido, the self-declared interim president, who has marshaled the hugely symbolic aid delivery, condemned the killing and promised to bring the perpetrators to justice. On Friday night, following a fundraising concert on the border, organized by Sir Richard Branson, thousands of indigenous volunteers were preparing to bring in the aid, in spite of threats from Nicolas Maduro, the president, who said he would not allow it to pass. A Paiman indigenous man is loaded into an ambulance after he was shot and wounded when clashes erupted in Santa Elena, Venezuela. Credit: The organizers of the show, held on the Tienditas Bridge, worked through the night to clear the bridge for today's aid caravan. Maduro promised a rival concert and was reportedly offering $7 million to artists to play, but by last night there was no sign of the show and several musicians said they had turned down an approach. A caravan of trucks fanned out across Venezuela, destined for the border and ready to load the aid. Guaido set out from Caracas on Thursday. Gabrieliano, a 33-year-old Venezuelan opposition MP, was defiant about the risks of violence as she prepared to cross the border from the Colombian town of Cúcuta. "You know what really frightens me? The fact that my children will continue to suffer," she said. "That's far more terrifying a thought than anything that could happen." On the bridge, concertgoers unfurled their Venezuelan flags during the Venezuela Aid live concert on the Colombian side of the Tienditas International Bridge near Cúcuta, Colombia. Credit: AP4 bridges here cross into Venezuela, and the volunteers, told to dress in white, will set out at 9 a.m. They would not be smugglers in the night, said José Manuel Olivares, a 33-year-old doctor and politician. He added, "We will do it by the light of day, with full transparency, because we have nothing to hide." Russia, which continues to provide a crutch to Maduro's teetering regime, accused the U.S. of using the aid as a ploy to carry out military action. Guaido appealed to soldiers to allow safe passage of the aid. "You must decide on which side you stand at this decisive hour," he said. "You must decide how you want to be remembered. We know you stand with the people. Tomorrow you must show it." The violence unfolded as the United States and the government of Maduro diffused at least one immediate source of tension, a looming deadline on Monday for all American and Venezuelan diplomats to respectively depart Caracas and Washington. The agreement bought both sides more time to negotiate a longer-term diplomatic presence after the rupture of official relations last month. Despite the temporary agreement on embassy personnel, the Trump administration's response to the shooting was swift and strong. The United States condemns the killings, attacks, and the hundreds of arbitrary detentions that have taken place in Venezuela, a State Department spokesman said. "We stand with the victims' families in demanding justice and accountability." Vice President Pence, who is one of the administration's most forceful Maduro critics, is scheduled to be in Colombia on Monday for a scheduled meeting of the Lima Group, a consortium of Latin American countries, plus Canada, that have called for Maduro's ouster. In tweets, opposition leader Juan Guaido, who was en route to the Colombian border, said, "In the community of Kumarakapay, 2 soldiers shot against Paimans that were at a checkpoint. Result of this crime is 12 people wounded and 1 dead. Our solidarity is with them. It will not go unpunished." In a separate tweet, he added, "To soldiers, between today and tomorrow, you will define how to be remembered. We know you are with the people, you have made it clear to us. Tomorrow you can demonstrate it." The Daily Telegraph, Washington Post, Venezuela. Crisis: Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela, Russia.